We are incredibly fortunate to have Shirley Johnson with us. And she is going to lead us in thought and embodiment, in finding ways to connect with parts of ourselves and intentionally cultivate joy.
So I'm excited to share with you. And I have been a part of this community and other seasons that have focused around crisis. And I'm excited today that we are focusing on joy and wholeness. And I want to applaud each and every one of you who is making time to be here today to honor joy and wellness and honor that it's okay to consciously make time for joy and wholeness, and that your joy and wholeness is imperative to your unique purpose on this planet. I have been teaching the last couple of weeks, and I'm in all white. I was going to change before I came to this. I teach Kundalini yoga and meditation. And I was reminded, as Oriana talked about wholeness, it's okay to bring different parts of myself in different moments. And I want to share just one thing that has been really resonating as we preface this presentation and this time, which is slowing down. And also that everything that is happening for us, whether it is crisis, celebration, transformation, changes, everything that is occurring is happening for you, for your growth, and for your soul or your unique purpose, whatever you want to call it, to rise to consciousness and to rise into your everyday life. So the time of putting our voice, as Brittany shares her voice literally, but what she's sharing is not just her voice, she's sharing her soul, she's sharing her purpose. And the time has come for all of us to do that. And part of that is going to be, I believe, learning and slowing down enough to connect to our joy and wholeness. Okay, so I'm gonna work between slides and non-slides today. So as a reminder, during this time when I'm with you all, please take care of yourselves. Take a moment to get comfortable and gather your props. So we're going to be moving around a little bit today. So as I'm talking, you might want to be clearing your space out or just making sure you have some room to stretch your arms and stand up. You don't need a lot of room. You don't need any specific things, and this is an experiential workshop. So I will invite you to be tracking how you feel throughout the time, right? Experiential, meaning you're going inward to receive information. Please notice again how you feel and take care of yourself. Compassion, I want to invite that this is a space to reflect on joy and wholeness. And I'll be providing some gentle breath work and movement that can be integrated and applied into our professional and personal lives. And my other intention for today is to support us and myself in slowing down so that we can feel. We cultivate joy and we honor joy by being in the present moment, which means honoring how we feel. I want to open up with some words by Maya Angelou. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. So I want to celebrate everyone today in our thriving, and I want to hold the intention and the path that there is room for us to all thrive and to not be clinging on to survival. A little tiny bit about me, just to give you some context. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I work a lot with folks who, I work with a variety of people and a variety of, sorry, I'm trying to get this thing out of my way, but I work with couples and adults. I specialize in working with codependence, recovery, intimacy, and sex, and vulnerability and communication, especially with women of color. I have over 10 years of teaching yoga and studying somatic arts, studied Hatha, Kundalini, and Vinyasa yoga and meditation. And I've studied a variety of metaphysical and energy healings for over 13 years. I also have experience working as a school clinician. So shout out to all my school clinicians and all of us are, when I worked in a school, I would say we're all the mental health team, but just shout out to everyone who is bringing their beautiful skills to all the schools and all the agencies to support our younger generations. And just the human Shirley outside of professional, I love Cuban salsa, meditating, floral arrangement, making medicines, watching TV. I love TV, reading and spending time by the ocean and trees. All right, so honoring our bodies, celebrating our joy. And I invite you to just type into your chats today, into the chat today, what is bringing you here today? Like, why are you here today? What has invited you? What called you to be here today? And just so we can all be holding those intentions. And as mentioned briefly, this time together today will include breath work, movement, and some writing, and potentially Q&A. All right, so let's just take in for a moment why we're here, and then we're going to go into a breathwork practice. Need to slow down, take stock, and invite joy. Yes, the need to slow down. All right, we're on the same page because I'm in a personal process and season of slowing down. Need to change to move from survival to enjoying life. Yes, Victoria, we deserve that. I'm here to learn to take care of myself and help others. And when we take care of ourselves, we know that we take care of others. It's one and the same. A deep need to find joy in a school year that has not felt joyful. Yes, I hear you, Laura, and I'm glad you are opening to this inquiry. Schools have been a place of tremendous anxiety and stress for staff and students. Yes. As a counselor, this was important for me to take the self-care time for myself as well as share with others. I'm so thankful that you did, to learn and find more balance. I've been feeling burnt out and need to realize joy in my work again. I hear you, Max. I'm ready to move into a phase of thriving over just surviving. And I want the same for the kids I work with. Ashe, aho. To get out of my head and into my heart. Well, you are in the right place because you're going to get into your heart today if you didn't already with fabulous Brittany or with Miss Francine, who's going to present. My supervisor suggested it. My brain went, ooh, yes, I need this. Because I love to learn from Oriana. Me too. And I had no idea what I was walking into, full honesty. Yes, walking into the unknown. And that's the beautiful practice of we walk into the unknown, we're always in it. But when we walk into it, sometimes we also don't even know the amount of joy that could be possible. All right, I haven't done a good job of taking care of me and I need to get control of me. Susan, sending you so much compassion and I'm trusting that you have done the best you can do and you are ready to turn it up. And it cultivates joy, connection, the power of vulnerability. I leave here feeling recentered. Ashe, yes, vulnerability. So let's come into some conscious breath work. I'm going to invite you to either lay down. You can lay down on your ground or on your couch, or you can sit up. I'll be sitting up so that you can hear me. So I'll give everyone a few moments to relax into your seat or you're laying down. As you arrive, I invite you to soften your gaze, close the eyes, let the eyelids become heavy. Rest the hands anywhere on your legs or knees. If you're laying on your back, I invite you to keep your hands by your side or gently press one hand to your, or gently bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your heart. You can also do this if you are sitting up. And this practice of just placing the hands on these points of our navel center and our heart center can be a really excellent tool in calming our nervous system. Just placing our hands, if we can't do anything else, we can just place our hands on our heart and belly and affirm that we are present with ourselves. We are here, body, mind, and everything in between and around. So as your hands are resting, you're sitting up or laying down, relaxing. We're going to segment 3 different breaths, equaling 21. I invite you to set an intention here for yourself, perhaps the intention of joy, for caring for yourself, for all the different intentions that are here today. And just for right now, our only to do is to breathe and find the joy of having breath and having life. So we'll start by inhaling slowly through the nostrils. And then hold the breath at the top of the inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And slow exhale out through the nostrils. Inhaling. Suspend the breath, hold the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhaling. Hold the breath. Exhaling. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Holding the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Suspend the breath. Exhale. As we go into round 2, again, you will inhale through the nose. Suspend the breath and see if you can keep relaxing the body even as you are holding or suspending the breath. And then this round, we exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Suspend the breath. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale. Suspend the breath. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. Suspend the breath. And exhale. And taking 3 more rounds at your own pace. Going into our final round. This time we're going to inhale through the mouth. Suspend the breath. And then exhale out through the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Suspend the breath. Exhale out through the mouth. Good. Continuing at your own pace with 5 more rounds. We are invited right now to just slow down. Let everything that's happening around you or on your desk, let it all happen. And you're invited to come home to yourself, to come home to your heart, to come home to your joy, to come home to your birthright of being your full, expressed, beautiful, joyful selves. It's all you have to do for these next few minutes. And you get to notice, is it perhaps challenging? Is the mind going very active and loud? Are you noticing quiet? No judgment, we're just noticing. And as you complete your 5th round, completing our 21 breaths for joy, I invite you to relax your hands if you have them on your chest and your belly or by your side. And taking in a breath through the nostrils all together. And exhale, just let everything go out through the mouth. Let's pause for a moment and notice how we feel. So I invite you to reflect and maybe add into the chat, how do you feel right now? And what, if anything, are you feeling in your body? So one thing that I'm learning in my humble life of continuing to be on this planet, be Shirley Johnson, is about my body. And I'm learning that the more I slow down, the more invitation I can feel my body. When I'm moving fast and I'm multitasking, which I confess is more than I really would like to be doing, but I'm still doing it because I'm human. There's a way I often disconnect with my body, with the wisdom of my body, and with the concept that my body is the vessel through which all ideas, all information, all creativity is flowing through. My body is the vessel. And as a person who does mental health work, my body is the vessel that holds me as I do that work. So it's important, I'm noticing more and more, to slow down, despite everything that's going on around me and everything around me that's telling me to speed up, to slow down and feel what is, and to then attune to myself to give me what I need. And as I see in the chat, and I saw in the chat, many of us are serving our community. And there is a correlation between being able to give to ourselves and being able to then serve others. I'm seeing folks feel grounded, released, connected. I notice how shallow my unintentional breath is. Beautiful observation. Feel like I forget to breathe. I can feel the spots of tension in my body. I'm surprised at how much I breathe I can hold versus how much I usually take. And I feel very warm, almost hot. So beautiful observations. And for some of us, we might notice that was really hard or really uncomfortable. That's okay too. So these were a few definitions that I felt like captured some of what we're even talking about when we say joy. But we're exploring today what joy is and what joy feels like for ourselves, because that's going to be the most important definition. And I'm finding that to find that definition for me, I have to look at my body and I have to listen to my body. I'm going to ask for one more volunteer to read this beautiful poem from.
I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy. My heart is too heavy for me to remember that I have been called to dance the sacred dance of life. I was created to smile, to love, to be lifted up, and to lift others up. O sacred one, untangle my feet from all that ensnares. Free my soul, that we might dance and that our dancing might be contagious.
Thank you so much, Sandra. So I invite us to all take a deep breath, maybe share any of these definitions or aspects of these definitions that are resonating for you, and maybe adding in your own definitions of what joy is. It can be one word, it can be something that resonated. So as we think about our body as a vessel, cultivating joy and wholeness, I want to remind us that our bodies are designed to be able to feel, as Victoria is highlighting, created for joy, the dance of life. While so many offerings focus on feeling pain, which is essential because joy and pain and joy and grief are often intertwined. If we think about everything being in our lives to serve us and to serve us towards our ultimate purpose, we know that even the pain and the crisis that we are sometimes facing or in the midst of has another side that is potentially inviting us to be more in our bodies and more expressive and more saying yes to our sacred dance of life. So today we honor our body's innate ability for feeling joy and pleasure. Today we give thanks for the ways our body has held us through so many tragedies, and we reclaim that it is okay to focus on joy. So I give thanks for my body that has supported me through lots of crisis work, trauma, and it's okay and it is safe for us to focus on joy and to uplift our joy and to explore it, to be curious about it. I love the idea of joy being contagious. Sometimes I feel as though I don't have the right to feel joy, especially now. Thank you for that. And that's something I would like for us to hold as well, just an inquiry for all of us. Are there times when we feel we don't deserve joy? We have a lot to learn from flowers. Why don't we always bloom for ourselves? Totally. See, Leora is sharing a quote here. Oriana and I have been ruminating on now our ancestor Bell Hooks' words. To be loving is to be open to grief, to be touched by sorrow, even sorrow that is unending. We need not contain grief when we use it as a means to intensify our love for the dead and the dying, for those who remain alive. Ashe. Thank you, Bell Hooks. Thank you, Leora, for adding that and to create it and protect it, our joy. All right, well, let's get into, now that we've gotten sort of some of the mental stimulation and maybe some curiosity flowing, we're going to get moving our bodies. So you can, obviously, if you're sitting down and that is most comfortable for you, I invite you to stay right where you are. And I also want to invite you that you can stand up. I might be sitting for most of this just for the sake of the camera and talking. Take care of yourself, make any modifications, and pay attention to your bodily sensations and emotions. And of course, notice any feelings of joy. And for some of us, when we start to do things that are vulnerable, or we start to do something different than we ordinarily do, it's prime, ripe ground for our minds to start going into a very judgmental, self-judgmental, self-critical place. So I just want to name that, and also name that if that's what happened for you, that I honor that experience as well, and that we can hold compassion for all of our experiences. So I'm reading there was joy in the stretch further. For me, I start to always feel a lot of joy when I am in my heart, when I start to move from my chest, move from my heart, open my heart, and even just opening my arms, opening those armpits. In the Iyengar tradition of yoga, BKS Iyengar, who's the founder of that tradition, said that open armpits is a natural cure for depression. I love that. There's something about opening our armpits, opening this area that can be often very tight, that can somehow support our mental health and our ability to feel expansive. When I led with my heart, I let go. Love the feeling of bending, stretching my back. Me too. My back often feels tight from all the sitting that I do. So just starting to move my spine, it's like, oh, I'm undoing some of that staticness. I love moving from the heart. Movement and music feels great. I feel joy in my joints. Ashe. I love the moving from my heart. At first, it was hard to contain my energy, and then I was able to focus and just let my body be in sync. Beautiful. My fingers felt so playful, yes. And our hands and fingers are extensions from our hearts. So how we move our hands and our fingers can also be an extension of playing from the heart. Okay, we're gonna do another physical activity. This one is called musical hearts. So this is a playful way to also play with sound and movement. And we're going to be focusing on our hearts. So the invitation is for you to move from your heart, but we're going to be listening to different types of music. So the way that you move may shift slightly as you hear one rhythm or one one song or one voice, and you get to keep noticing how your heart responds.
I saw it and she hit me like that. Saw that thing so beautiful. That she just hit my heart. Oh, that full force and she got me like that. I be like that. Baby, why you so?
Let's pause and notice how you feel. Feel into your heart. Breathe into your heart. Just witness how that melody, how that voice, how your heart and you responded to that rhythm.
Check my energy, I no get that for no enemy. To the people, to me. Nothing with person never see. I'm on nothing with person never see. Forget it, I say fashion. Money soon expected. Take our body agent. I take out to the person. Take jelly, jet. I mean the answer, yes sir. Then I mean the answer, yes sir. Respect is reciprocal, even though I know say I'm special. Anybody, we no want to search it. Anybody, we no the body body. I can't something, I can't something. Go back, I can't something.
And pause. Maybe place your hands over your heart, and you can be touching your heart during this time. You can even be letting that dance that's coming from the heart, like really ground into that with your hands. Just notice how you feel. Notice how that bit of movement from your heart is resonating through your body now, resonating through your psyche. Okay. And remember, we are cultivating our joy today. So I invite us also to notice where we might be holding back. Are we holding back at certain points from our joy? Just notice. We don't have to judge ourselves for that. It's just something to pay attention to. All right.
Yo sé que tú me quieres, yo sé que tú me adoras. Yo no soy una guagua, mamita, yo soy la planadora. Gente de zona, con el hito, le cogieron los...
Eso.
Vamos para yo, ponle. Dispara.
And remember, you can be dancing around your space.
Soy lo que buscaba para darle a tu existencia una razón de ser. Como se te toque, mi apariencia y mi melodía. Te llevaste mi bandera, nunca a ti más te dolía. Y ya tú ves que me colé por donde no imaginaba. Tú no me engañas, yo soy la cadena.
pause. Oh, and just feel. You know, I'm reminded, for me, music and movement are very connected. And I'm reminded of earlier in the 20th century, a tap dancer was always part of a jazz ensemble because the dancer and the musician were interconnected. And I come from a family of musicians, although I did not inherit much musical talent. So when I hear music though, regardless of, you know, talent or not, I'm also aware that music is such an ancestral portal for me and for most of us. Music existed through all cultures. Music existed in the most earliest ancestors. Dance existed. Different types of music, different types of dances. So I just honor that, you know, I just want to name that. It can be this simple. And in my experience of working with young people in schools, I found that one of the gateways was music, a shared way of communicating. I learned so much. I would sometimes just listen to, I had some students that were aspiring rappers and they want to play me their music during a therapy session. I was here for it because they're telling me about themselves through that. All right, so we pause. We're gonna do a few more rounds if that's okay with y'all. Yeah, okay, good. We're getting warmed up, getting our bodies warm. It's cold in the Bay Area, so we gotta keep warm. All right, and we're gonna keep just noticing from the heart. Let's keep flowing, keep flowing. And pause. Again, I invite you to notice, how is your heart feeling? I see in the chat someone expressed that, Becky expressed, noticing some tears releasing from movement, feeling the pulse of music, an opportunity for expression. I want to just normalize that, right? Sometimes when we slow down and we get in our bodies, oh, there go the tears. There go the laughter. There goes the levity. There goes whatever the feeling is. So thank you, Becky. Thank you for letting yourself feel. Thank you for expressing that. And for others, y'all may notice the same. And we get to notice, can we invite whatever is coming up, whether it's tears, numbness, a busy mind, joyfulness, whatever it is, to be here, because that's where the joy is, in accepting ourselves through all of the different moments. Joy is a permanent state in you. It's there all the time. Okay. Let's do a few more rounds. Pause and notice. I invite you to slow down, maybe bring your hands once again, one hand at the belly, one hand at the heart. And if you can, remember your affirmation from earlier. Can you say that affirmation to yourself right now? As I read through them, I'll just share a few. I am enough and I do enough. I allow acceptance of myself by myself. I am here. I am strong and embrace the process on this journey. I am capable. I open my heart to color, shape, form, light, and love for all. I love and accept you just the way you are. I am worthy to joy. I am worthy of, I'm open to receiving. I matter. I take my space. I allow myself to be. I do not always have to be producing. I can take time to just be. I can take in love. Yeah. So let's just breathe into that. And I want to invite us to just notice how we feel. Did anyone get to experience the embodiment of joy at all today? If you want to reflect to yourself, this might be a good time to do a little writing. And I'm going to end with this quote from a friend of mine who I've also had the pleasure of collaborating with, Mariam Hasnea. And this speaks to, I think, what Oriana shared earlier. Joy is a very rare energy in the human collective right now. So if you are someone who embodies this energy, you have to stop apologizing for it and recognize how much it is needed. This is not the time to think that us dimming our joy is going to support someone else. That model does not work anymore. I don't know if it ever worked. The model of trauma bonding and only meeting people and abandoning ourselves when we are joyful and feeling connected to our joy, and abandoning our joy in order to meet someone somewhere else, it does not work. You have a right to be joyful. I would invite you to write a joy manifesto for yourself. And it might be that affirmation that you started off with today. It may be a full sentence. It may be something you work on for the entire year. It may be something you work on during your winter break that is for you, and it's going to anchor you into the work that you do. Something that you can read to yourself daily or have posted at your computer around your commitment to joy. If you are willing to commit to joy at this time, and I hope that you will be. And just because you commit doesn't mean you have to be happy. Happiness and joy are different. Happiness is an external expression. Joy is an internal expression. But commit to knowing that joy part of you, that is your birthright. You were born with it. And it will lead you to your purpose, and it will never steer you wrong. And in the words of one of my beautiful spiritual teachers who passed away last week, Malidoma Somé, he would say to us, there is no right and no wrong. There's only right and left. So a reminder that anything that happens in our work, especially in working in school settings or in settings where we're supporting youth, there will be crisis, there will be tragedy, there will be trauma, there will be pain, and there will also be joy.
This was provided. It is okay if we're not sharing out loud right now. 100%.